What's up, man?
Oh, hey, man. What's up?
Watching the other teams, huh?
Yeah, I'm just trying to learn Noodle League and all. You can learn a lot from watching the other teams around the league.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, did you know that the Canadians are actually fucking terrible at hockey? Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub! Does anybody have more fun than the Boston Bruins right now? Is anyone having more fun than we are? Because I don't think so. That's 6 wins in 7 games, 3 in a row against hated rivals, right? The Bolts, the Caps, and now the Habs. And we smacked them around. Secondary scoring galore. We had an NHL first goal tonight. There is so much to be happy about when the line that looked the worst was the second line, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. They just seemed kind of tuned out because, like, all right, we were up 4-0. They just didn't care at a certain point. What a win! Oh, I love beating the Habs. And for those of you who are like, well, it's just the Habs, you're either very young or you just, I don't know, you just feel weird. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't care if the Habs are 30 games under 500. Beating them feels amazing. Every time. Don't give a shit. Always fun. They're 1-7-2 in their last 10. They have won a single game since December 1st. A lot of postponements in there, though. This team, I don't think, has played a single game with their full roster. Injuries galore, COVID issues, everything. You can feel bad for them. I'm not gonna, because they hate us as much as we hate them. And that's part of why both teams love the sport. Talk to any Habs fans. They appreciate the rivalry. They hate us, but just like us, we appreciate the rivalry. They are 32nd on the power play, 30th on the penalty kill, 32nd in goals for per game, and 29th in goals allowed per game. All of that probably got worse other than the penalty kill. You can't get worse than 32nd, but their numbers definitely went down. Rask is back for us. He's backing up Olmark tonight. But Rask is back, which is exciting. We'll talk about him later. DeBrusk and Nosek, they are going to slot back in. Nosek on the fourth, DeBrusk on the left wing third line. Foligno, back to skating, but remains out. Frederick, also out for his injury. I'm not really sure what his timeline is. Swayman, sent to the AHL. Bye-bye. Sad, I know. I'm a big Swayman guy. I love Swayman. But this is the right move so he can still get consistent playing time. It's not going to stunt his growth. This kind of stuff, not a big deal. I still think he's going to get reps near the end of the season in case we decide to lean on him if something happens in the playoffs, injury or whatever that might be. But it's not a big deal. And trust me, Swayman is a professional. He knew that this was a likely outcome when Olmark signed that deal, and he's okay with it. Now, if we're next year and he's not back in the league, maybe we'll have that conversation. But right now, I guarantee he's pretty good with it. Marchand during the pre-game skate, the warm-ups, he has a black eye and a bloody nose. It looks so cool. It hurts, and I get it, but you know it looks so cool. He also is mic'd up for this game. God knows how much of it actually can be used. But right in the beginning, I don't like an interview during the pre-game skate. I really don't. I want the player to be able to, get ready for the game, though it didn't matter for Marchand. You'll see why. But I do not love it because they're distracted. And he immediately says shit on national television, which is funny. I love this guy. Everything about him is so Marchand. No part of Marchand isn't so fucking Marchand. I do have a little bone to pick though here. Biz Nasty, as he's known, Paul Bissonnette, made up shit during the pregame show. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I am 99% sure I'm right. I'm not a Paul hater. Biz is doing what he can to grow the game, and I think he's actually good for growth of the game. I'm not a big Spit and Chicklets guy. I used to listen to them a lot because I got these interviews with players that I liked. I don't know. I must have gotten burnt out on it or something. I'm just not enjoying it. And I haven't been listening lately. Not an insult to it. Sometimes you go in ways of podcast. It just isn't my cup of tea anymore, right? So I don't want to come off as a Biz hater because I'm really not. He's just not my cup of tea. But during the pregame, he brings up that Pasta being dropped to the second. He said that Pasta, and I'm paraphrasing, was saying that he was unsure about this and was kind of looking at the coaching staff like, what? No. Cassidy went to the production line, sat them all down, and told them about what was going on. Pasta never aired any grievances or worries or insecurities about this move at all, as far as I've seen. So it really feels like Biz made something up for a soundbite. And I don't appreciate that at all. Puck drops, and 7 minutes in, the whole pregame show was about getting up for a game against a lesser opponent. But it's Montreal. What do you mean getting up for them? It's Montreal. Always going to get up for the Habs. 7 minutes in, and the only three players who looked like they were ready to play were Marchand, Grzelcyk, and McAvoy. That's it. Everyone else was slow out of the gate. 8 minutes in, Smith and Marchand do have a 2-on-1, so you're like, all right, maybe we're waking up our legs a little bit. It bobbles off Smith's stick. It was really a frustrating start to it. Back the other way, Vakanainen, who's back in the lineup, that's right, he stayed. Forbort and Clifton continue to be out on COVID protocol. I feel like I didn't go over everything I was supposed to pre-video. You know what I mean? But back the other way after that 2-on-1, Vak is shielding the puck from Lehkonen, but he cuts across Ullmark right in front of him, and Lehkonen's just like, okay, and smashes at the stick, hits the puck off Vak's stick, and Ullmark has to be aware to make the save, and he did make the save. That's an underrated save. Like, always trust your defenseman, but always stay between the puck and the net. That was a really important play by Ullmark, because that could have shattered the confidence of Vakanainen, because that was a huge mistake. And it could have given life to a team that, it's a rivalry game, man. Throw skill out the window. Not really, but throw it out. If they start getting momentum going, you saw what they did against the Leafs last year. Different team, different scenario. But it's not a team I want to give life. And I think a lot of people agree with that when it comes to the Habs. There were a lot of questionable calls in this one. But one of the biggest things that stuck out to me that wasn't a questionable call, it's called by the rule, but it happened shortly after that Vakanainen play. We're down in the offensive zone. Bleed with a nice forecheck, gets Petrie behind the net. Basically gets his arm around the head and kind of yanks off the helmet. It didn't look intentional, but it certainly didn't look like he was sad about doing it. He follows it up by going careening into the boards against another defender. Petrie is now required by the rule to go back to the bench but not touch the puck. Now, as he's skating back, there's a turnover created on the wall. The puck kicks back out into the slot. It looks like it's going to be a one-on-one for us because we collect, and Petrie goes to play the puck. It's a good penalty to take by him because you don't want to give up that kind of scenario. But this feels disingenuous, doesn't it? You're in a tough play. Your helmet gets knocked off. Instead of being able to pick up the helmet, or instead of being able to skate back towards your bench, but take a moment to stay in the play, you get called for something when you do it. I don't know the answer to this, but as a hockey fan, I know that I didn't feel good about that. Because as much as I want player safety to be at the forefront of everything, I still want the guys to be able to play the game. This one felt rude. Now, on the power play, we don't do shit with it. Pasta hits the crossbar, but our power play continues to suck. We really need to sit down and talk about it. If we're getting secondary scoring like this, though, we'll start throwing the comparisons to 2011 and fuck the power play. Who gives a shit? 5:17 left in the period. This is a great rush down the left wall by Grizz. He gets basically hammered, though. Falls onto the puck. A nice assist by Lazar to come in, collect the loose puck, and shove it up the boards up the point. Nosek does the same thing Grizz just did. Goes down that left wall, takes contact, but able to stay on his feet, recollects the puck, and whips it into the slot. And who is to the right of Jake Allen right there? Brad Marchand. With no one around him. And you can see in the replay the defenseman was aware he was there and just let him get there. How do you allow that to happen? That's Brad Marchand. What are you doing? That's a 1-0 lead. Easy peasy, taps it in. Feel good about that. 15 seconds later, we go right back into the zone. We set up a bumper attempt. It's Bergie to Smith. Smith fires high. It careens off the boards. Huge bounce. Back into the slot. And both Marchand and Bergeron are there to take a swipe at it. Marchand has the better angle with a low golf swing. Gets the contact in the air. Slides it past Jake Allen again. Has 2-0. 15 seconds apart. Both Marchand goals. 3 games in a row. 3 games in a row with 2 goals. And he wasn't done. He wasn't done. I just have so much joy. I just have so much joy. An unfortunate occurrence of that play. Jake Allen does go to the room looking uncomfortable. Montembeault is in. The guy I like to get Montembeault. Here's the thing. It was clear in a replay later in the game that Jake Allen wanted to stay in the game and was actually ushered by the trainer. They're like, no, something's wrong. You got to come in. I respect Allen for that a lot, because why the fuck would you want to stay in that game? In a rivalry game where you know you're going to get shellacked. You know it. You've already let in 2, 15 seconds apart. Buddy, good on you for wanting to compete, because I would certainly be like, resting the night off. Don't have to have Brad Marchand giving me snow baths every 30 seconds. Lazar's going to crash the net at some time and take my head off, so I won't have to deal with that. Yeah, I'll go have a beer. Maybe I'm not a competitive enough guy. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why I'm not a professional hockey player. Outside of the fact that I can't skate, have no puck awareness, and am kind of just a moron. We move on. 50 seconds left in the period. Jakey with a great play to gain the zone and keep the puck long enough for help. He pins it against the wall, waits it out. That's so important to get it into. This is what we talk about for our bottom 6. Get into the offensive zone, hold the puck there, and let help come to you. And he gets rewarded. Puck ends up getting cycled around, gets back on DeBrusk's stick on that right dot. And he fires this into the slot, and Lazar gets the lucky bounce. It's off his foot and in. He's in the middle of a battle in front of the net. Well-deserved goal. Those lucky bounces did not go our way the first 2 months of the season. I'm going to take those all day. Our shooting percentage is climbing back up to league average. It might already be there in the 9 to 10% range. That goes to show that maybe the start of the season we overreacted to. I still think the team looks different right now, but we are getting some more bounces. That's for damn sure. 3:18 into the second period. That's right, we're moving on. It's 3-0. 3:18 in, and Bergie's going to go for slashing. It's an excusable call because Drouin had a wide open, not net, a wide open chance on Ullmark. So Bergie gets him in the hands, prevents the scoring chance. I'm going to live with that. We have a nice kill on it. And then 7 minutes in, it's Howler for hooking. Too many chances to clear this. And then Ullmark literally headbutts a shot away. Headbutts it. Coming at him. Kaboosh. Not the only headbutting we'll see in this game, by the way. I don't know why I'm pointing so viciously at you. But not the only headbutting we're going to see. We'll get to that later. But that's another penalty. We score on it. No, not they score on it. We score on it. And who else but the Rat King? Marchand takes the puck off of a Habs player's stick. Literally strips him of it. Flicks the puck up to the neutral zone. Bergeron's going to take the offensive zone. Fling it over to the left side. John Moore joins the rush very nicely. He fires it on net. Handcuffs Montembeault. But if you're going to get handcuffed like that, you got to make sure you actually get the puck. It bounces back out. Marchand gets his stick down, slides into it. I don't even know how he hit this, whether it's skate or stick, but it goes off Marchand into the net. That's your hattie, bud. That is your hat trick. Not a natural. We were close, but not a natural hat trick, but a hat trick nonetheless. That is the rat trick. I am not the first person to use that, but I'm just gonna take it for myself. That's 4-0, and weirder enough, a few minutes later, Steen draws a roughing call from Ben Chiarot. I don't like this call at all. What are we doing here? This is Steen's going down the wall after the puck, and Chiarot comes in and hits him. It looks like a legal hockey play. I don't even know how to explain this to you. Yeah, the puck was a little ahead of Steen. They didn't even call interference on it. They called roughing. I don't get it. I don't get it. There was no call, no reason for that call. So it's 4v4 for a bit, right? It wasn't even a couple minutes after that goal. That's right. It was just a minute later. 4v4 for a small amount of time because we were still killing off that penalty. And then we're going to go on the power play. The power play is still dookie. It's absolutely terrible. Then, just the end of all things. I'm so sad this wasn't a shutout. Pezzetta gets hit by a puck while he's in front of the net. There was a mad scramble in front of the net. Puck gets kicked out. Pezzetta gets hit by it. Collects it. Turns and burns. Just flings this short side, high glove. Beats Olmark. Fast shot. Nice shot. Can't get too mad about anything here. John Moore was on him, but very clearly got turned around. Stopped taking the body. Didn't realize that Pezzetta was going to create that room by just taking a step forward into the puck. Probably didn't even realize that he had the puck as soon as he did. So that is a 4-1 game. No one's worried. I mean, come on. This game has been such an ass-kicking so far. I know it's 4-1, but I don't think anyone was really even thinking the Habs had a chance here. 8:30 left in the period. Moore is going to go to the room. He would not return. I'm not sure what's going on with that right now. That starts to be a problem. Now, Forbort and Clifton are only in COVID protocol, so they should be coming back soon. But we are dropping defensemen like crazy. And we saw this last year where this starts to turn into a real tough situation. Our depth is being tested. People keep slotting in and doing well, though. So fingers crossed we can continue that. This might mean that Vakanainen is going to continue to have his games. We're going to talk more about him. For sure. 8 minutes left in the period, and Grizz is going to get sandwich hit on the boards. He's going to be okay, but Bergeron and McAvoy take exception to it. They come over to gently grab the Habs player by the neck and fling him down. Bergeron's going to get called for roughing on that or holding. I don't know. You probably could have called it either way, but we are going to have a penalty kill. We are going to kill that penalty very easily. 9 seconds left of it. We also get a power play. Suzuki goes for holding. We give up a breakaway, and he hits the post on the power play. God, the power play is still bad. It's still bad. Power play. Habs for slashing. 50 seconds left in the period. Guess what? We do jack shit with that one, too. God, power play is terrible. 6 minutes into the third, Marchand's going to go for interference. It's a bullshit call. It's just like the Sherratt one. It's a puck is coming to Suzuki. He another 3 inches and Suzuki has it. He's playing the puck. Marchand comes in, plays the body. That's a legal hockey hit. Just completely goes through Suzuki, nails him. I just don't see how that was illegal. And I'm not being biased because I just talked about the Habs didn't deserve a call earlier for the same fucking thing. You don't have to have the puck on your stick to be hit legally. It feels like most of us knew that, and the guys in the stripes didn't. 1 minute left of that penalty kill. There's going to be a scramble. Weidman is going to headbutt Haula. On the way down, Haula with gloves on is going to be hitting Weidman on the ice. There's going to be offsetting penalties as well as an extra one for the Habs. So we're actually going to result in 4v4 plus a power play for us for a minute or two. We don't do shit with it. 9:41 left in the game, and Bleed. Nice feed to Vakanainen on the right point, and Vak is just going to let this one rip. Lazar has a great screen in front of Montembeault, which results in him not picking up the puck soon enough. Doesn't realize it's blocker side, gets past him, actually gets a piece of the blocker, and then bounces in. That is Vakanainen's first NHL goal. Well deserved. Was he perfect in this game? No, but he's been solid. And he's been put in a real tough situation, jumping into the NHL at this point in the season, and we've been rolling with him. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. I like to point out parts of his game that I worry about, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about that later in the video, but I think he deserves a lot of credit. Quick edit. I know that I said Vak had the goal. It's actually Lazar's. I already made the video, so I'm just going to splice this in. It's Lazar's goal, but doesn't change anything. Vak really deserves the recognition for what he's done. Doesn't matter whether he scored a goal this game or not. We should all be impressed on what he's putting together. Lazar, 2 goals. That's pretty good. We'd like to see that. And that's a 5-1 game. That's how it will end. We will have a little bit of a fight before then. Haula is going to fight Dauphin. I think that's how you say his name. It's about 5 minutes left in the game when this happens. It's a weird fight because Dauphin doesn't look like he really wants to. He's just kind of holding Haula's head. Haula immediately whips off the glove and goes for it. And then they both fall over. And then Dauphin starts hitting him. So whatever. What a weird game. It actually didn't get as chippy as I thought. There was a lot of after the whistle scrums and everything. I expected something massive in the third. An implosion. I don't think we really got it. I think there was close with the Weidman headbutting Haula, and then Carlo went at it with a guy. But I really expected something big, and I don't think I got it. Game notes. This is less of a game note, but I know beating the Sabres, Wings, and Devils out of the break wasn't a big deal, right? But that's 3 wins in a row. It mattered. And then we lose a close one to the Wild. And then we beat the Brakes off of the Caps, Bolts, and now the Habs. This team is collecting points at a time they really need to prove to the rest of the league, like, hey, we're still here. Do not take us lightly. We are still here. And I think they've done that. Flyers tomorrow. Rask in net. Oh, baby. We are either going to win this game 4-0 or lose it 8-1. There's no in between. The hockey gods are going to do something in this game to completely fuck with us. There were Tuukka chants in this game. They were cheering for Tuukka. I think they were cheering, we want Tuukka. Now, some people thought that as disrespectful to Ullmark, and I get that. I don't think Ullmark is daft enough to take it that way. And I'm not calling the people who think that daft because it makes a lot of sense. But I think Ullmark also recognizes that Rask is a beloved figure in Boston, and he kind of probably got a little excited about it too. He's like, fucking nice. That's my boy over there. That's the guy backing me up. He's coming back from surgery. Ullmark's here for a few years. He knows it. He's got a no move clause. The fan base is hard on him, but I think a lot of us really like him. I'm not on that train of he's upset about that. I really don't think. Is it a little disrespectful? Yeah, probably. But I think there's enough context there that we can go, not a big deal. Finally, Vakanainen. Let's talk a little bit about this. So with John Moore going down, it's likely he's staying in the lineup. He's still getting beat out physically, but he is learning a bit, and you can see it. There's some grizz in him where he's able to twist and turn and get the puck up quick. The puck never stays on his stick long, ever. I think I saw him make one move in which he kept the puck and went around somebody. Like one intentional 1v1 move. I'm sure there were times he skated by people, but hey, I have the option to pass and I choose not to moment. If he's going to grow in confidence, great. He is still able to make those bonehead plays every now and again. I saw a few this game. He's not ready for full-time NHL. If he's in our lineup come playoffs, something weird's going on. I'm really excited for him. He's grabbing this opportunity. He's doing what he can to stay in the lineup. I think he deserves a lot of respect for that. I just think he's still a little raw. 23 years old. Next year was really the year I was going to be like, all right, Vak, it's time to prove it. Let's see it. But I'm happy for him, genuinely. All right, guys, it does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Flyers, tomorrow. Let's keep this going, man. I love beating the Flyers, too. I don't know if there's a team I don't love beating, but I do love beating the Flyers. So let's keep this train going. Collect some more points. We are sort of gaining ground in the standings a little bit. Montreal sucks. They have the worst point percentage in the league right now. I'm doing this before the Arizona Leafs game has ended. If the Leafs win, Arizona goes back to the worst point percentage. I should have said that earlier in the video, but still fun. Still fun. Go Bees!